When I was in pastoring in Greensburg, I remember I've told the story before, but I remember the time our AC unit went out, and there was a guy from church that came over to look at it, and he said, "Well, go flip the breaker, turn the breaker off. We're going to have to get into electrical stuff." So I went in the garage, turned the breaker off, came back out, and he got down on his knees, had his tool bag there, and he was kind of working on stuff, and then he stopped. He said, "Did you turn the breaker off?" I said, "Yeah, I got the breaker off." And he said, "Okay, you sure you got the breaker off?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure I got the breaker off." And he said, "All right, well, put your hand on my shoulder." So I said, "Okay," and I put my hand on his shoulder, and he got his tools out, he's getting ready. I said, "Why do you want my hand on your shoulders?" He said, "Well, if you didn't get the breaker off, I'll be the first to know, you'll be the second." So I went back in and checked the breaker again, you know what I'm saying? What was he asking? You know, he's like, he's saying, I want to have faith. I need some evidence in what you're telling me is true. All right, I want to believe you, but the evidence is going to be, will you put your hand on my shoulder? Because then I'll know that you really believe that too. You're willing to act on it. You have faith that you got that breaker off. All right, belief accepts the evidence that leads to faith, and trust acts on the evidence